Hello everyone,
Hi,
Lloyd
guys.
here. Tonight I am joined
Hey,
by...
Mormo! Boy, today's
Flames
a
are on,
scorcher.
aka YouTube
No
Toske.
kidding. Hey, let's all go down to the river and play
returned.
after this.
Because,
Oh,
well,
nice!
this is the
Don't
rematch
come crying
with
to me
Lloyd.
if you slip and get carried away again.
But as with
Indeed.
other one-on-one
Hey, that's
videos, Lloyd's
right.
skits
I
are-
remember that.
Yeah, Rain just sat there and watched. She was pale as a ghost.
What? You just watched a student drown?
I
Rain,
felt
what
there
the
was
hell?
little risk of harm in barely knee-deep water.
Then Lloyd's face was all bugged out and serious. Man, that was hilarious.
You're a brat, Genus. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you,
no kidding.
Vesperia, for
He just
choosing
kept looking
that
back
second
and forth
option.
at us and laughing his head off.
And I love how they
I thought
take it as
was
though you're
beyond the
joking.
pale,
I was being
even if he
serious.
is my brother.
Genus, what's wrong with you?
Oops. I shouldn't have brought it
I
up.
guess the
Well,
writers
be
intended
careful
for it to
playing
be
around the water
interpreted
just the
as a joke.
same.
Yeah, that's just
Right.
more that,
You can't forget to stretch
decision-making and
first,
radiant.
or to have
Be a
grown-ups
nice
around
guy
that
or
you can
slightly
actually
less of
count
a nice
on.
guy.
I think 2 and 3
Hey!
are pretty much the same.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either,
Childhood friends, huh? Must be nice.
Is that true, Ryan? Our childhood friend's nice?
but they are. But I mean, since 2 and 3 are in Japanese, I can't understand them. So
Now, as you can see, I'm wearing a different set of armor than usual, and that's because I made the mistake of choosing that Lloyd, or rather, Ryan, I think you chose for me that Lloyd should go up against the warrior class.
I think so, yeah.
So, this is a bad matchup, though, because the warrior class is really slow, and Lloyd is really fast, so do the math.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I mean, when I played the Japanese version of this game, I used the warrior. Of course, with Japanese 2 and 3, I didn't look back and went with warrior, but or with swordsman.
yeah.
My brain.
Ooh, hey, it's Lloyd.
You have stolen my name for the last time! Prepare to die, Zack Bear!
Aw, shit.
Alright, let's go!
Shit's going down.
So yeah, this is the beginning of our fight. Lloyd's got about as much HP as everyone else. The first time I played through this, or rather the first couple times I played through this game, Lloyd wasn't all that tough for me for the one-on-ones, but this time he was definitely the most annoying because, as I said, real slow class versus quick Lloyd didn't quite. Not to mention, Lloyd seems tougher to stagger. Maybe it's just because of the warrior class, but yeah, it's tough to get him in a combo. And plus, that guard breaking, what with Sword Rain and all that jazz. So, Ryan, is there anything about Lloyd or Symphonia or whatever that you didn't get to cover in the last one?
Did we talk about the transition from Symphonia 1 Lloyd to Symphonia 2 Lloyd at all?
I think we touched on it a little bit, but we didn't really go into detail.
Yeah, I mean, with Dawn of the New World, you can definitely see a difference in Lloyd's his personality, the way he sees the world, and like his interpretation of things.
Right.
And even in the Japanese version, Katsuyuki Konishi, his Japanese voice actor, does a lower voice. I mean, that's just acting, but it also kind of helps to drive his character change.
Indeed, he's older and wiser.
Yeah.
And I'm getting corner raped, so excuse me while I run. But, so, on that note, did you prefer the Lloyd and Dawn or the original one?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think I said in the previous Lloyd video, I felt like I related to Lloyd more than anyone else in Symphonia, but it wasn't until Dawn came around that I started to kind of appreciate Lloyd a little bit more, mainly just because that's when my Lloyd voice started to get more traffic. But or I started doing it more. It actually kind of became a thing.
Right.
But, I don't know. I'd say Dawn just because I don't know. I like the idea of, you know, a teenager hero becoming an adult and then being an adult in the next game.
Not to mention the whole premise of Dawn being that Lloyd has apparently gone off the deep end.
Yeah, which I thought that would have been so cool if Lloyd was the antagonist. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. But that's a whole other can of worms that me and my friends will probably touch on when we eventually get to Dawn. As for me myself, I do prefer the Dawn version of Lloyd. I don't remember if I stated, but I am one of the few people who prefers Brian Beacock as the Lloyd voice. And I just generally like his character better in that game. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I do think that Brian Beacock has gotten better over time. I will admit it, at first when I played this game in English for the first time, it was like, what? But I mean, it wasn't a bad choice.
Right.
Like, it would have been one thing if they chose someone really bad, but they didn't. I'll admit that they kind of typecasted them, but that's okay.
Right. It happens all the time. But, and then plus, like, just speaking on Dawn terms, I really couldn't imagine, because I noted this on, like, 1 or 2 episodes ago on the podcast, I really couldn't imagine Scott Menville doing the type of Lloyd that is in Dawn. And that goes for, like, half of the voice actors for Symphonia. I really couldn't see them doing the Dawn-type lines with how the characters have grown.
I agree. Like, Brian Beacock has an okay range, but Scott Menville has a decent
How
range.
the hell did you beat me? Are you on drugs?
Has a good range, too.
Can I have some? Meet me at the blacksmith and give me some.
I probably should have timed that better, but because it kind of went into after Lloyd was talking. But what I was saying was, Scott Menville has some okay range, but his voice, for the most part, is pretty static.
Yeah. But, sorry, Lloyd, no drugs.
Oh, man!
Yep, and we'll finish this off with another little skit going into Lloyd's impatience, I suppose you would say.
Who's the pitcher and who's the catcher?
What?
Wasn't he asking about their relationship?
Yes. It's terrible.
He's trying to be funny.
It was funny. Don't worry about it. Yaw. To be fair, I would act that way towards Marmo too.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's gonna take forever.
I'll pass on the rest. Maybe later or something.
And then he just sleeps. Well, that's Lloyd for you, everybody. Later.